Right, today we're going to look at how to use SketchUp. Now, first things first, we're going to open up the program, and you'll be presented with a screen that looks similar to this. You have to choose your default template. I think it normally looks like this. So click on template and make sure you choose simple template in meters. Once you've done that, you can hit start using SketchUp. You only have to do that once the first time you load it. Now, once we load up SketchUp, it's going to present us with a view, a 3D view, with our X, Y, and Z axes, and of course, to help with scale, it presents a person. This person might be different depending on the version you have. Now, I'm just going to go through some of the basic tools and then look at showing how you can make a simple doghouse. Now, the basic tools along the top here are all to do with drawing. All of these tools here are to do with movement of objects in SketchUp. These is to do with measurement and texturing. That's quite an important tool, the paint tool. All of these tools is to do with moving around, so how you can view what you can see on screen, not moving objects, because this is about moving objects. This is about you moving where you can see. And these objects here allow you to import models from the 3D warehouse. Now I'm going to quickly look at how to make a simple doghouse using a number of the tools. First things first, I'm going to draw out a rectangle, and I'm drawing it out flat on screen. And whenever you complete a shape, as long as the shape is flat, it will automatically fill in the inside and make a face. Okay. Now I'm going to use these tools here to move one of the faces while these are moving the objects. And if you hover over it, you can see there's little dots on the face. And if I click upwards, it's going to allow me to draw it upwards. And now I have made myself a cube. These tools here, this one here allows you to pan. And the most important tool, which is orbit, allows you to look round the object. This is really important because, of course, this is a 3D environment, so there is a back and a front to these objects. Now, if I want to add windows or doors, if we're thinking of the dog kennel example, if I want to add a door to the front, I can do this a couple of ways. I could draw a rectangle, but I'm going to just use the pencil tool just to show you how that works. So the pencil tool just draws lines. You click at the beginning and end. So this is on edge, meaning I'm on the edge of the object. If I click once and then draw up, you'll notice it's blue, which means I'm going up in the vertical axis, and also on face, which pops up, gives you this information to help you work out exactly where you're drawing. When I'm happy with the height, I click OK, and I move across, and again red, so moving in the horizontal axis or the x-axis, and then I click again and click down. Now this is made a complete shape because it's linked to the bottom line here. If I want to delete this, if I click on the select tool, you notice I've selected it with the blue dots. If I right click, I can erase that. And what you'll notice is the actual object is hollow, and they're always hollow. They're never a solid shape, they're always a hollow shape. I'll quickly show you how to use the arc tool. The arc tool is about defining 3 points: the beginning and end of the arc, and then the top of the arc. So if I click here to define the beginning, and that's the end, and then click again by dragging up, and again it says on face, which means I'm drawing on the face of the object. I click again, and that will give me my arc. I'm going to just use the select tool to select this, or erase this bit, and then I'm going to use the rubber to rub this out. There are other ways of doing that. You could have done that all in one step, but as I said, this is just showing you a number of different tools. I'm going to use the orbit tool to move around. Now, traditionally, a doghouse will have a roof of some kind. There's a couple of different ways of doing the roof, but I'm just going to show you how to do a pitched roof very simply, just by using the pencil tool and the move tool, or this move tool, which allows you to select a part of the object and then move it around. So I'm going to click on the pencil tool. Now as I'm moving along, I'm going to wait until it hits this blue spot, and this blue spot is the midpoint. I'm going to click, I'm going to drag until I'm going to the midpoint on the other side. So this line is in the middle of this rectangle I've made. Then I'm going to click on this move tool, and as I move along, it's selecting different bits I can move. Now here I've selected the blue line because it's highlighted in blue, and now if I drag upwards, it's going to give me a picture roof. Sometimes you might have to change your view to make sure you're pulling upwards, so it's worth rotating around to check that you've actually pulled that correctly, and I think I have. That door's a bit wonky, but we can always fix that in a minute. Last thing to do is to add some texture. Now if I use the paint pot here, I can select different textures. Now roofing happened to come up straight away, so I'm going to add some roofing texture to my object, and then if I choose wood, I can probably get that's not wood. Let's do bricks. Why not? Let's do bricks or cladding. We'll add some cladding around the outside. So then, using the orbit tool, you have to click between the orbit tool and the paint tool. We can rotate all the way around the object and paint on the sides. You'll notice that if you go back to the front, the insides haven't been painted, so you can actually go into the object and paint those sides as well. Let's see if I can move this door. I'm going to use the select tool. Select the door. See, it's blue. And I'm going to use the movement tool, and I should be able to just move it along a little bit. There we go. So it's a bit better positioned. And there we go. That is a very simple doghouse. The last thing to do, or you could have done this first, is to import a dog model to make sure the scale's right. I'm just going to hit 3D Warehouse. Takes a moment to load sometimes. I'm going to choose dog, and if you scroll down this list, looking for a dog that of course isn't with a kennel, here's the one I keep choosing. And if you want that imported into your model, click this, download, load it directly into your model, yes, and within seconds the dog model will appear. If I click, I can move him around still using the move tool, but if I look around, that's not a bad scale. I could make it a bit shorter, but for now, for this video, for this demo, I think that is good enough. Hopefully this will let you make your own kennels fairly easily.